I've been saying this over and over and over again. If they lose game number 1, they're going to sign Chris Jones. That defense, especially stopping the run. Jones is one of the best run stoppers in the league. The guy's like 6'6" and 300 pounds, and he's fast. He is absolutely fast off the edge, and even inside. You can move him as a nose tackle, a defensive tackle, or a defensive end. He has the speed and the agility and the wherewithal to go out there and absolutely dominate in the middle of the field. So I expect the Jaguars to have problems running the ball this week. But remember, Chris Jones has not practiced with the team.
Nope.
He has not been on the field with his team. So you're talking about him. We've said this over and over again. Look at Saquon Barkley in week 1. It's going to take him a little while to get his feet under him. So I still think this week the Jacksonville Jaguars have the advantage, especially against a Kansas City Chiefs team that has no offensive weapons, and we don't even know if Travis Kelce's playing this week.
We don't know yet. Nope.
I mean, seriously. We don't know if Kelce is playing this week. He obviously is hurt because Kelce doesn't sit out unless he's absolutely hurt.
And again, you also look at the pressure that the Chiefs could not get inside either. And they actually did all right against the run in the first half of that Lions game. But the second half, they really got completely outmatched by that Detroit offensive line. Now, we know the Lions line is good. It was the second ranked in terms of Pro Football Focus grades last year. And we know both David Montgomery, who has been a good running back throughout his career, and Jahmyr Gibbs looks like a good player too, a first-round pick for a reason. But the Chiefs, they always were able to still get good pressure. They were a top 10 run defense last year, but you could tell without Chris Jones, they were missing from his game in a game that a lot of the rest of their defense played very well. They got slot pressure. They got Nick Bolton playing very well. Their safeties played well, and they just could not get enough of a consistent pass rush. And if that is going to be an issue for them, that hurts Spagnuolo's defense a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And again, when you look at Kansas City and what Kansas City is capable of doing year in and year out with Patrick Mahomes, teams know that Patrick Mahomes is going to roll out. He's going to use his legs. He's going to use his ability to scope down the field and make those throws. The question is, can any of those wide receivers make those catches? We saw Tony, he couldn't make those catches. They were dropping the ball all over the field. And if they do that against the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's going to be a long, long day against their defense.
Right, and you also look at Jacksonville's offense, too, as the threshold of playing a shootout, too. And the Chiefs are going to need that level of defense to be able to put that kind of pressure on Lawrence, too. Because we saw Trevor Lawrence, he was rolling for his life in the first half a lot of that game with Jacksonville's offensive line struggling the way they did, too. And that could be something that the Chiefs could expose. And we've seen Spagnuolo try to do that. They'll attack your weakness on an offensive line. They'll have very creative blitz packages. And the Chiefs, with their offensive capabilities that they could have if Kelce comes back, still is going to be strong because Mahomes was still doing well at improvising. They just had so many issues with their wide receivers and with their running backs. He had to just literally do everything, and it was so hard against the Lions defense that's pretty good.
I think Jones hides the deficiencies of their secondary.
Yes,
their secondary is horrible.
100%.
It's horrible, and you saw it against the Lions. I know they only gave up 21 points against the Lions, but you can see when they play a high-flying offense, a quarterback that can throw against them, they're going to have problems keeping up with them. Their defense is really built on their front seven. Chris Jones is a big part of getting to the quarterback and causing problems for those quarterbacks to make bad throws so that defense, that secondary, can move up and make the plays. If they don't have that, and that's why they needed to sign Chris Jones and they needed to move quicker and not wait till week 5 or week 6 when they could fall down. They could be 1-3 or 1-4 or 2-4, and their season could be over because they're in a very tough division in a tough conference where there's a lot of good teams and teams that are going to challenge them to win a Super Bowl this year.